If you have any level of social anxiety, then speaking to others can be terrifying. I'm going to help you manage the social anxiety in situations where you have to have a conversation by giving you 3 tips that will allow you to never run out of things to say. And stick around till the end because the last one doesn't even require you to say a single word. Okay, so imagine this. You start up a conversation with a stranger, and then once the pleasantries are over, like how are you, you immediately run out of things to say. Now at this point you would either freeze up, talk about the weather, or lie about where you have to be. So I'm going to offer an alternative for when you're in these situations, and this is why I think my advice could be valuable. I'm a psychotherapist, and as a psychotherapist, I have to have scheduled conversations on an hourly basis. There isn't really much time to run out of things to say or to feel anxious about what I did say. I have to some degree show up and keep the conversation going. So here are the 3 tips on how to keep a conversation going like a therapist. So the first tip requires a mindset shift. If your focus when entering the conversation is about what you're going to say, it might distract you from being genuinely curious about what the other person has to say. As a therapist, I have to be very intentional about being curious and really opening up my ears to what this person has to say, finding genuine interest in what they have to offer me, listening to them as though they have some sort of wisdom to offer. This mindset shift already takes the focus off you because you're not focusing on what you have to say and thereby stumbling over your own anxiety, but rather allowing yourself to be immersed in what the other person is saying. The second tip from a therapist to keep the conversation going is to ask open-ended questions. Conversations can lead to dead ends if we ask close-ended questions. Did you enjoy your vacation last month? Yes. You're the second born, right? Yes. You see, if you ask questions that the person can give a yes or no answer to, then you're already leading yourself down a dead end. As a therapist, in order to extract the most amount of valuable information from the client about their life, we usually resort to open-ended questions. Instead of asking, did they enjoy their vacation? Try something like, how was your vacation? Instead of asking if they have siblings, ask them how they get along with their siblings. Now, some people have a knack for replying with one-word answers even to open-ended questions, but you definitely will give yourself a better chance with these. And the third tip, if you feel that the conversation is about to die, is to use simple cues to keep the conversation going. Sometimes in conversation, we feel the need to constantly contribute to what's being said. But something that I'm required to do as a therapist quite often is to use simple cues like yes or tell me more. What this will allow you to do is to put the onus back on the other person to give you more information, to elaborate more, or to flesh out what they were saying. And that pro tip I promised you about not saying anything at all is using the cue, So if you ever feel yourself sitting with social anxiety during a conversation, go be your own therapist and try these 3 tips out.